Welcome back to Last Stop Sports Talk. Today is Sunday, April 5th, 2026. Happy Easter, even though you're watching this afterwards. But here on episode 111, I'm with Kean Kropp and Carson Kropp, and we're back with another Draft Brothers episode. Today we'll be talking about the edge defenders and ranking them up that way. We've got our top 5 for you. After watching them all through, we've got our consensus rankings. We're going to start it off with 5. Per usual, so today we're going to start it off talking about Cassius Howell from Texas A&M, 6'2.5", 253 pounds with 30 and a quarter inch arms. In 2025, he played 13 games. He had 31 total tackles with 20 solo, 19.9% pass rush win rate, 11.5 sacks, 14 tackles for loss, 41 pressures, 1 forced fumble, and 0 fumble recoveries. Kean had him 8. Carson also had him 8, and I had him up at 6, so I'm going to start it off today. So, pros for this guy, I was really impressed with his overall speed and agility. I thought his hips were really fluid to bend around the corner and get to the quarterback without really losing a lot of speed. His rush was one fluid, fast motion, and I was really impressed by that. I like that he's kind of got a book of moves already. Some guys don't really have moves, and they rely on either their size or just their overall speed. But I like that he's kind of got some moves in his back pocket to use, and I like that he also showed that he can set them up and set up the blockers to make his move successful too. I was really impressed with his change of speed also. Like, he was able to stop and go quickly or go from spying or whatever and change his speed really quickly and efficiently. And to finish it off for my pros, I just thought that he had a really good pursuit and tackle burst ability. Whenever they were in his area, he had a really impressive burst and dive at the offensive guy coming towards him.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Then just to add on a couple of things, this guy's relentless.
Mm-hmm.
He just goes and goes and goes till he gets in the pocket. He has a great combination of aggressive speed, power, and he's shown some spin moves to get into the pocket. And then he obviously has those shorter arms, but I think he knows how to get the most out of his build and work around his short arms by keeping his distance from the offensive lineman. And then whenever he's ready, he just bursts towards them with a quick chop, swim, and he dips under him using that good bend that you talked about. And then his play recognition seems to be good. In his pursuit, he'll oftentimes come flying from the opposite side of the field and blindside a running back in the hole that the running back had no idea he was coming. So, I mostly just love his tenacity.
Yes, yeah. What you said about his run defense, I think that he's gonna have questions about his run defense for probably the entirety of his career because he is smaller. But I think he's so patient in run defense. He knows that he doesn't have the power to burst into the backfield and blow up a run play. So at the snap, he takes a step back. He waits for the running back to run through the hole, and then this guy can sprint laterally across the line of scrimmage or with the line of scrimmage, I guess parallel is the word I was looking for, and tackle him right as he gets through the D-line, just like you just said. It's like a surprise, I'm here, thanks to his speed and quickness. And he also just, in doing that, he shows his football IQ and ability to adapt with his weaknesses. Because, I mean, he's small, but he's been playing small his whole life. It's not like he's like, we always talk about, like, man, this guy's small. Like, how's he going to do in the NFL? It's like, this guy's adapted to learn how to play at that small size. Also, I love the speed and quickness too. It jumps off the page. It's like his cleats have longer studs in them than everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I love the bend to slip around the offensive tackles so easily, like you guys said. It really made me think of Chris Berman, Boomer, yelling "whoop" during Boomer's fastest 3 minutes at halftime of Monday Night Football. So I'm excited to see this guy in the league. But getting onto the cons, this guy has really, really short arms, like insanely short, some of the shortest that have ever been seen on an edge defender coming into the NFL. 30 and a quarter inch arms, 33 is what is considered like good for an offensive tackle, and like you kind of want your edge defender to be close to that. And this guy's not even close at all. They're even shorter than Ruben Baines, who we're going to talk about. And Ruben Baines is getting a ton of crap for it ever since the combine. Ruben Baines, there's 30 and 7/8 of an inch. This guy's a half inch shorter than that, more than that.
Yeah.
Also, I think he just lacks the power to move an offensive tackle in any direction. That's not his game, though. He can get blocked out of run plays and controlled by an offensive tackle if the offensive tackle can get to him before he leaves the area. It leaves him just kind of off balance and frantically trying to break loose, and he just doesn't really have that in his bag. And if there is any offensive tackle who can square him up and get both hands on him, they can probably stop him on pass and or run plays, which proved tough to do in college. But if that does happen in the NFL with better offensive tackles, that could be a problem for him.
Yeah, talking about that length more, he looks like and he's built like a middle linebacker.
Yeah.
Playing
Yeah.
edge defender.
Right.
And he's made it work thus far, but the NFL is a different animal, and I'm concerned about that as well. I think his long speed is limited, and his athleticism in the open field is a little bit lacking for what I'd like, because I think he struggles to finish the play all the time, and he doesn't always have the speed to run them down like some of these other guys. And then also that unique pass rush setup and technique that I talked about can sometimes set him up too deep in the pocket to where he's not in the play, and the quarterback still just has an open pocket because he takes that time to separate himself and then attack.
Right, yeah, I agree. The only thing I'll double down on that I also saw that was big for me is kind of what Keenan was talking about his strength and getting tied up with offensive tackles. I think that to really set a good edge, he definitely had to rely on technique, and that was clear. He's not the biggest guy, and he can get bullied by those guys, so he just really had to dial in his technique. So I think he could do it in the NFL, but yeah, that will kind of limit him there. And one other small thing is he really likes to completely drop his eyes and duck his head. Like whenever he's going into first contact, just completely drop his eyes, which I mean, I like the just throw your head into the guy attitude, but
Right.
Sometimes it's good to see kind of what's going on, but that's just nitpicking. So, do we have comps today?
Oh, absolutely.
Sweet.
I do. Yeah.
Sweet.
My comp for Cassius Howell is Roadrunner from Looney Tunes. The cartoonish, super quick steps. Like whenever he takes a step, it's like dust cloud. Like immediately, and you can
Yeah.
see the
Spinning.
the spinning of steps. To help him move in any direction that he wants, and he slips away from Wile E. Coyote, or in this tackle, or in this case, the offensive tackle, consistently. So,
I
Roadrunner.
love that.
I have a couple Kean comps today, as well as an NFL comp.
All right.
So
Nice.
these edge defenders are just fun. So
Yeah.
my Kean comp is a dog that's waiting for you to throw a ball.
Yeah.
So this dog is all revved up, and then you throw this ball into the woods, and the dog just somehow bobs and weaves without ever hitting a tree, and he gets to that ball very fast. And that's Cassius Howell. Like you said, he's patient in the run game. He'll wait there and then take off when he sees his moment. Same with attacking the offensive tackles in the pass rush.
Yeah, I love that.
And then for my player comp, these guys are both undersized edges that are built more like a linebacker. They're twitchy, athletic, slippery. They have good bend, good finesse moves, and they're a high-strung player overall, and that's Nick Herbig.
Love it.
That's a good one.
He's got short arms too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Our number 4 consensus ranked edge defender we got here is Akeem Mesidor from Miami, 6'3", 259 pounds, with 32 1/8 inch arms. In 2025, he played 15 games. He had 63 total tackles, 38 solo, 20.8% pass rush win rate, 12.5 sacks, 17.5 tackles for loss, 67 pressures, 4 forced fumbles, and 0 fumble recoveries. I had him 4. Keenan Carson both had him 3.
This guy has great agility and strength for his size. Both of them.
Sure.
Great combo there. Looks comfortable in the open field, even when he has to turn and change directions in pursuit. He can also rip and pull or bull rush offensive linemen and actually move them significantly and get them off balance. Also, just some great hand usage with a plethora of moves in his tool bag. Shove, rip, swim, pull, swipe, you
What?
name it.
What?
There's film of him doing it. Yeah,
Bop it.
exactly. Yeah. Bop it. Good at changing speeds in his pass rushes, too. He can add in an explosive lateral step, quick dip, or aggressive shove. He attacks ball carriers with a forward lean, always driving or diving forward with every tackle. He's got the strength to hold the line in run defense, plus the athletic ability to chase and tackle in the open field if he gets a chance. And he's got experience lining up all across the D-line.
I agree. And this guy is another guy that seems like he's given all his effort until the play's over. Great physicality at the point of attack, hot motor. Then just to touch on some of those moves that you talked about, some analyzing of the moves that I did was, so it seems like his most effective and go-to move is like almost a basketball like Euro step swim move type of thing.
Yeah.
And then he also has a speed rush to just bust around the corner. He has a bull rush on weaker tackles that aren't suspecting it. And then it just seems like no matter what moves he's using, his attack angles are always good to make them work. So he just seems very well-rounded, very NFL ready with his plethora of moves to keep the offensive tackle guessing, and a hot motor to top it all off.
Man, hot motor powered by maple syrup by this Canadian fella here.
yeah.
Canadian. I agree with everything you guys said. He's just very impressive. I'll add a couple things. I love his discipline. He's disciplined enough to wait and watch the quarterback and not feel like he has to rush in there and be the hero every single time. I really was impressed by that. Strong tackle finisher, and I like that he seems to be able to recognize when a tackle in front of him is out of position, and he just explodes and takes advantage of that tackle being out of position, and is able to, just take advantage of him to get better position. And one bonus before the cons, he was coached by Hall of Famer Jason Taylor, along with someone else we'll be talking about here. Yes. But so that is a bonus to kind of get that NFL brain in your ear for your collegiate career. Cons here, he's obviously, it's tough to talk about because it's not really compared to the last guy. Whatever. Very slightly undersized, a little bit, very slightly. And sometimes his kind of style of chasing the plays could, just because he's got such a hot motor, it might set him up to get like counter moved against him kind of easily. And obviously the big one in the room is he'll be a 25-year-old rookie. So that's
he actually just turned 25 today. So happy birthday!
Happy birthday! And obviously the last one, he's Canadian. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. We love the CFL. We love our northern friends up there, our northern pals. So I was just joking. We love our Canadians.
White North, eh?
The Great White North.
Yeah. So I also have the shorter arms. I say shorter because it's 32 and an eighth. So it's like less than you want, but there's edges in the league that make this work. And then I said that he has a bull rush he can use, but I think that when he's fully engaged with the blocker, he really shows that lacking play strength a little bit to be able to get off that block. But as long as he stays out of the tackle's grasp, he's good.
Yeah, he needs that momentum behind him. I noticed the only other con that I'm going to say is that I don't think his jump off the snap is not elite. Like, we've seen some elite. Like, Cassius Howell, elite. Hakeem Mesidor, I wouldn't say is there because he rarely wins with just speeding around the offensive lineman.
I described it as pretty quick.
Yes, yeah. He's always getting contacted by both hands of the offensive lineman he's facing up against, which makes it tougher for him to get quick pressures compared to somebody like David Bailey, who we're going to talk about. Ready for comps?
Yes.
All right. My comp for Hakeem Mesidor is he's a karate sensei.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's obviously older than his students, but he's still able to kick ass. He's got the experience. He's learned various attack techniques with his upper and lower body, and regardless of how old he is, he's still really good at karate. So I don't care that he's 25 years old.
Yeah.
This guy he's badass at karate.
Yeah,
he is.
This comp was a really hard one for me because it's like he doesn't stand out anywhere. He just seems so safe. It's like it's a lot easier to comp a guy to somebody whenever they have something to stand out there. You'll see it in the NFL. You're like, that's him. So I just landed on a guy that's similar sized, and he also has a hot motor, versatility in their moves as well. And I went with Byron Young.
Hey, yeah, nice.
Not bad. Our number 3, the aforementioned David Bailey from Texas Tech, 6'5", 267 pounds with 34 1/8-inch arms. In 2025, he played 14 games, tallying up 52 total tackles with 32 solo. He had a 21.6% pass rush win rate, 14.5 sacks, 19.5 tackles for loss, 81 pressures, 3 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. Kean had him 4, I had him 3, and Carson had him 2.
Wait, that size is actually wrong. I left you out to dry. That was the one that I forgot to change. He's 6'4", 251, 33 3/4-inch arms. My bad.
He's not quite that big, but he still does have good size.
Yep.
And those arms are desired length, like we talked about, over 33.
Yep.
Off the line of scrimmage, this guy is very fast, even though he is a stand-up edge. And I think that a lot of the reason he gets off the line so damn quick is because he times the snap very well. And I think that he's NFL ready in the aspect that all the elite edges in the NFL are like riding that line of being offsides. He has that down to a T. At the top of the rush, he has quick hands and he bends around the tackle without even making much contact with them because he is so dang quick. Rarely overshoots the pocket too deep because his bend's so good too. Once he gets past the tackle, he's dipping under him, bending around him, and he's right there on the quarterback. And he's made many plays on his highlights that were a what was that kind of moment for me towards the tackle. Like, what were you doing, tackle? It's like the tackle didn't even know he was there because he just went right around him and he barely even touched him. On top of that, he has strength to knock the tackle off balance or rip off the block. He has an effective counter spin move to pair well with his speed and bull rush, even though he looks kind of uncomfortable spinning. So I think that does need to be refined. And then lastly, he has enough speed to have a decent range and run down ball carriers, but I would not call that an elite part of his game.
Yeah, I agree with you for all that, but this was my biggest motor guy of the class. I love his motor. It's just constantly running. Yeah, like you said, very quick. Feet are constantly chopping, and he's always working to gain more push. He does not let up. I love his tackle burst when a player is even in his area at all. He just has a great burst to make a strong tackle. Like you said, his explosiveness off the line it's NFL ready there. And, yeah, from any angle on the line, I think he's able to have success, and I like his amount of moves and just overall abilities that he has.
Yeah, the quickness is what David Bailey's main calling card is. It's like Chop Robinson type quickness,
right.
Insane. And it's one of those things. I was watching David Bailey, and I'm like, man, I love football, but I am glad that I don't play quarterback.
Yeah.
Because imagine a 250-pound guy running like that at you, and your offensive tackle doesn't do shit to stop.
Literally nothing. Yeah. Seriously, what was that?
You were standing still.
Yeah.
At least it looked like it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm driving 70 down the highway, but then comes a 140-mile-per-hour car going flying by me, and that's David Bailey.
Yeah.
This guy is absolutely insane. 4.50 40-yard dash does not do him justice. He is faster than that on the field. Mm-hmm. And it's just, you said it, he turns his speed into power too if he wants to. I think he's going to be one of those guys. Teron Armstead talked about how the reason why he retired was because of Jared Verse. David Bailey's going to do that to people. He's going to do that to some old offensive tackles. Be like, I can't keep up with that guy. Yeah. There's some really good edges in this class, and David Bailey is definitely one of them. And also, this guy's got good experience. He's got 300-plus defensive snaps in each of his 4 years of college. So, very nice. Very, very nice. We'll go into the cons. He could improve his hand usage, I think. Obviously, he relies on his quickness and constantly churning feet to win against offensive tackles in college. In the NFL, it's probably not like that, but with speed like his, I don't know. Maybe it is like that.
Yeah.
He didn't really have to rip, swat, or fight too much with his hands to break free from blocks. And the question that I have for him is he really going to be like a hard-nosed, hold-my-ground guy who can set the edge on a run play? His run defense has been questioned by other analysts that I've watched and listened to. His PFF run grades are always significantly worse than his PFF pass rush grades. So basically, do you feel good enough to play this guy on every down, especially if you're drafting him in the top 5 or top 10? Obviously, the pass rush is insane. It's some skills that you just do not see every year. But is he a liability in the run game? I don't know.
I said the same things. So, first of all, it goes with the same point. Some may desire more size. He's only 251. That could be a little lightweight.
Yep.
And I think that's that attributes to why it seems like he's not strong enough to really anchor in the run game, and he can just get displaced pretty easily. And then also, he doesn't have great physicality or strength for power moves. Once he's engaged, he doesn't really have much fight. His power comes from speed. Like you said, it's like a speed to power conversion, and it's just not raw strength.
I completely agree with you and got nothing else to add. Comps.
Sure. Bullet Bill for Mario Kart if he trucked through the competitors instead of just flying around them. The speed, the power, just keep that momentum going to plow the competitors, and that's David Bailey.
Yeah.
Kean already alluded to my comp, but an edge with less strength but insane athleticism and lightning fast get off. David Bailey is a more powerful Chop Robinson.
Bingo.
I like that.
Yes.
Yep. Our number 2 consensus ranked player, edge defender we got today is Ruben Bain Jr. from Miami, 6'2", 263 pounds with 30 7/8-inch arms. In 2025, he played 16 games. He had 54 total tackles, 30 solo, 23.5% pass rush win rate, 9.5 sacks, 15.5 tackles for loss, 83 pressures, 1 forced fumble, and 0 fumble recoveries. Carson had him 4, and Kean and I had him 2.
Yeah, this guy has clear churning strength paired with surprising bend and a low center of gravity to take advantage of offensive tackles who do not square him up. He can power either through the inside or the outside shoulder if the offensive tackle if he's given the chance. His thick legs and glutes are the driver of this operation, baby. This guy's got a big ass.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely
Powerful.
powerful.
He takes big bounding steps to generate that power and then attack the weak spots of the offensive lineman to squeeze through into the backfield. He keeps his arms swinging, shoving, swatting crazily to keep an offensive lineman from locking him up as his legs drive him forward. He makes offensive linemen just panic.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously not with the speed of David Bailey, but with just the absolute power coming at him. That is Ruben Bain. It's scary. He plays with a low pad level too. Great leverage. He pushes up into the offensive lineman, gets them off balance. He's got the size, anchor, and grit to excel in run defense too. Maybe even because he played it closer to like 275 pounds is kind of what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
He just makes some impressive plays to plug gaps and stonewall ball carriers, even while an offensive lineman is trying to push him back. This guy is a specimen, regardless of the short arms.
Man, I agree with you. This guy's got a lot of good going for him. Pretty much the checklist of what you want in an edge defender. He's got nearly all of it. We'll talk about the cons later, but the only things I want to add is I do just really love his bend and the way he uses it. Like, he can get a tackle off balance because they panic, like you said, and he is immediate to take that shorter rush path. Like, he knows what he's doing, sets it up, boom, they're off balance, I'm going right now. I really love that. I love that he can even shed blockers too. That's impressive. Just his overall combo of like power and edge ability is hard not to like, and it's hard to nitpick, but and also this is the other guy, obviously bonus, coached by Hall of Famer Jason Taylor.
Yes.
Like that is a big thing, and
That's an insane edge duo to
Man,
be coaching.
yeah.
That's insane.
it's impressive.
The only pro I'll add is not so much his build, a little bit his build, but mostly his power and intensity give him the versatility to play anywhere along the defensive line, defensive end, defensive tackle. And now to get into cons, I'm going to be harsh on the guy like the rest of the analyst community is, and I have him down at 4 opposed to you guys' 2 for these reasons. Obviously, right off the bat, his arm is very short at 30 and 7/8. That's 2 inches under the 33 mark that Kean talked about earlier, and I think that because of those arms, if these offensive tackles are feeling confident and they're ready to take him on, then he can get punched and stuffed at the line with these higher-end guys that are ready for him. And also his shorter arms led to an 18.6% missed tackle rate. That could also be because he's so dang aggressive and he's always going for it, but I think that those shorter arms are harder to wrap up guys with. Then also, I think he has a thicker and slower build compared to some of these other edges.
Big ass.
Yeah, and I describe him more like a defensive end, and I'd even go out there to say that he's kind of close to a defensive tackle.
He'd be fun. He'd be so disruptive.
Yeah, and the knock I have against that is he's like too short and a little slow for the outside, but he doesn't quite have enough mass for the inside. So he's like that odd in between that either want him to slim down and just be a hell-raising edge or bulk up and be a monster on the inside, like Aaron Donald type, just mess up these centers and guards and go get the quarterback. And I think the build he has right now, like, he kind of lumbers off the line of scrimmage compared to the other top edges. Like, after watching David Bailey, this guy's a lumbering edge. And lastly, he doesn't have great closing speed and pursuit speed to finish a sack or run down the ball carrier. Like, once the quarterback gets out of the pocket, the quarterback's probably going to win the foot race, and he's not gonna be able to catch him.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. The quickness is my main con against him. It's lacking. He tries to stride out instead of taking choppy steps to speed up. It's sometimes he can create enough power to get through, but sometimes it's just those shorter arms could cause problems for him. But honestly, I do want to talk about the arms a little bit. I think it's a con really only because it's a distraction and an excuse for the media to throw at him if he doesn't succeed in the NFL. I'm not really concerned about it because he wins with strength, not length. And he put up great numbers in all 3 of his college seasons. I know that college and NFL are very different, but it's something that we always talk about. But Ruben Bain has a build and tenacity that you do not see very often. So it's really hard to project what he's going to be. Because if he really was playing at 275 pounds, and he's doing that off the edge, whenever guys like David Bailey are 25 pounds lighter, I mean, they play in different ways. But they're both winning and winning ferociously. So I guess I just put him up that high because he's obviously talented. There's no doubt about it. It's just NFL, we never really know. We don't know.
I kind of had him up higher too. I mean, still going off cons. One, I kind of had to put it there because it's what I saw. He's not really, in my opinion, your flashy playmaker, but he's feels to be a very solid and safe floor type of player. Just the way he plays, it kind of makes you overlook his build just because he's had so much success. So he just feels like a safe type of player who is more than likely going to have success nearly anywhere he goes in the NFL. But comps.
Yes, I have him comped to a dump truck.
Fitting.
First of all, he's got a big dump truck of a butt.
Yeah. Talk about an anchor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Second of all, he can haul a lot of weight and still move well, and he's tough to get stopped.
Boom, easy.
So I personally, if I were drafting him, I would want him to play like a defensive end role. I wouldn't draft him from an edge like a T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons type.
Right.
I'd want to put him at D end, even maybe get tricky with him at D tackle sometimes, and mix it up and use him just as a monster in there, have him bulk up even more.
Yeah, you want him to be in an odd front. So like they're either playing a 3-4 or they have 5 in the front row, and he's one of the guys lining up with a guard.
Right.
Ideally.
Yeah. And with that, my comp, so with his shorter, thicker build that relies on power intensity, my first thought was originally Ed Oliver, but I don't think he's quite as quick and bursty as Ed Oliver, so I went back to the drawing board, and when I was looking at the NFL website for like the arm length and all that, I saw Brandon Graham on there, and I honestly thought that was too good not to go with, so I'm going to agree with Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Okay, moving to our number 1 overall consensus ranked edge. We got Arvell Reese from Ohio State, 6'4", 241 pounds with 32.5-inch arms. In 2025, he played 14 games. He had 69 total tackles with 34 solo, 13% pass rush win rate, 6.5 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 27 pressures, 0 forced fumbles, 0 fumble recoveries, and we all had him as our 1. This is another guy. There's a lot to love about this. Now, whether he's an edge, linebacker, whatever, but he came out and said he wanted to be
He wants to
considered-
play edge, yeah.
he wants to play edge. So we ranked him with our edge class. Obviously very young. He's incredibly talented for his age, and you can only imagine that it's going to get better as he grows into his body more, builds more mass, builds more muscle. So it's just a very solid foundation right now.
Oh, I have the quote. I forgot that I have the quote.
Oh, perfect.
He said, quote, "Teams have pretty much been asking me what I want to do and where my mind was at. I've been telling them I think I'm an outside linebacker / edge. I haven't even scratched the surface with what I can really do pass rushing."
Okay. Love
Sorry,
the quote.
continue.
Thank you. Yeah. His length and height is there, and there's clearly room to grow into that frame that he has. And he was productive from either the linebacker position or rushing, and just productive from anywhere he was. Clearly explosive and fast. I liked his hand usage to get him through and around blocks. His lateral agility is incredible, and just his overall speed and size is what really just allows him to make plays from anywhere on the field.
Yeah, this guy is another guy that his motor runs hot, plays with high intensity, and despite the smaller size, I think he plays with more power than his frame suggests, and I think that that's because he's great at converting speed to power. Comes in fast, hits the lineman at full speed, and to counter this, his other pass rush move uses agility to maintain speed around the edge and bend under the tackle. So it's like he has both to do and keep the lineman guessing. Great speed and athleticism, like you touched on, runs around the edge. You can run down play from the backside, opposite side of the field, whatever. Keep up with the running back coming out of the backfield or even serve as a quarterback spy. This guy can do whatever you want him to do. Lateral agility, like you talked about, he won't miss very many open field tackles using that. And he's also a hard hitter that will blow the running back off his feet.
Yeah.
And I think, for me, he would be the linebacker 1 of the class.
Oh, yeah.
And he has some of the things I think Sonny Styles is missing. Like, this guy actually plays with a hot motor. Yeah. I'm not trying, Sonny Styles is catching strays here, but this guy actually plays with a hot motor. This guy's actually a hard hitter.
Yeah.
He actually has decent change of direction, and he still has all the athleticism of Sonny Styles. So it's like all the Sonny Styles lovers, I think this is your guy that you want, because it's like everything he's missing, here it is.
Yeah, when he blitzes from the second level around an offensive tackle, like, basically playing edge, but take a few steps back, and that's where he's coming from. The offensive tackle has zero chance of stopping him. There is no chance.
No shot.
His bend, his length, his speed, 4.46 40-yard dash, it's insane. And yes, he would definitely be linebacker one. And I think that most analysts who watch the film and really study, they want him to be a linebacker because right now, as an edge, we'll get into cons here, but he's just hasn't developed that yet. And it's just like the same thing we see out of Jalen Walker last year, and guys that come in playing both, like an Abdul Carter and Micah Parsons, and there's just more positional value in edge, and there's more money in edge. That's why these guys want to play edge, so I get it. But this guy, I feel like whenever you put him on the edge, it's really like you're putting a wet blanket over his fire, over part of his fire at least, because his athleticism is insane. And you guys touched on everything. Also, whenever he makes an open field tackle, this guy hits the ball carrier with such speed. It's like his arms automatically wrap around the ball carrier.
It's like one of those snap-on bracelets.
Yes, exactly. Just a 6.0 missed tackle rate in 2025, which is really low for somebody who plays a lot on the edge. But yeah, this guy's insane. As for cons, he's got just 1.5 years of starting experience in college, just 960 defensive snaps. And if he really is going to play mostly full-time at edge in the NFL, he does really need to diversify his block-shedding moves. His most successful pass rushes at edge in 2025 were like bull rushes. And I think he's right that he hasn't yet scratched the surface of what he can really do pass rushing, and I think he can become a great pass rusher in the NFL. He's just a relatively inexperienced edge who needs to learn. That's really all it is. It's just you need more experience, and I think that he can get there because the tools are there, and they are shining bright. They've never been used before, basically. These tools are shining, baby.
Brand new.
Yeah, I think also to succeed in the NFL, I'd like him to put on some weight. At only 241, that's very lightweight for an edge. And this guy is so lean. He has so much room to put on muscle, whatever he needs to, because right now he's muscular, but he even still looks skinny. So to have all this power with that frame is very impressive. And then, yeah, as of right now, I just don't know if he'd have enough power and pop to play edge full-time. And I would personally draft him as an off-ball linebacker that can be a versatile piece to use like creatively in the pass rush and disguise schemes, and just be a super fun piece for the defensive coordinator. And I think Arvell Reese is way closer to Fred Warner than Sonny Styles is, for all the Sonny Styles lovers as well.
Sure, yeah. I agree with you guys. So, comps.
Funny Carson said it. I comped him to a slap bracelet.
Oh, nice.
Long, slender build, smacks everybody with speed, instantly wraps up, and probably leaves the offensive player stinging a little bit.
Ooh, nice.
So, for my comp, I went with another highly athletic hybrid linebacker that I also want to play off ball, succeeded in college at edge because of their speed and athleticism. And this pains me because none of us really loved this guy. I think Cody might have liked him, but he had a down year for his first year on the Falcons, and that's Jalen Walker.
Yeah. Love it. Okay, let's move into special shout-outs, other guys that we like and want to talk about.
Sure, who wants to go first?
I will.
All right.
So I actually have two special shout-outs. The first one being my edge number 5, Cody's edge number 8, and then Kian's edge number 16.
I don't like him.
And that's Zion Young out of Missouri. Now, this guy, I'd call him an acquired taste.
Sure, yeah.
He has the versatility to play either edge or defensive tackle. He's 6'6", and he gets all 6'6" of himself in a very low and powerful stance to the line of scrimmage. He's consistently blowing up tackles, guards, centers, tight ends. Whoever's in his way, he's going to blow through him. Very powerful punch and drive. Gets the offensive lineman off balance, and this allows him to continue driving through them right into the pocket where his long arms can grab a piece of the quarterback and latch on, bring him down. He also has a nice chop and swim move, and he's shown a spin as well, even though he's also not very comfortable doing that spin. I think it needs some work, but it's there. His power also translates to the run game, where he blows up running plays and takes on double teams. I love the versatility of this guy. Super long arms to give a large tackle radius. He looks like an eagle flying through the air when he's ready to tackle somebody. Majestic. And he's always given that extra effort to run down the play from the backside with his decent range.
Yeah, I agree with you. He uses those long arms well to really, he can use them to extend and lock out and stall up the blockers. It's really impressive to watch. But yeah, you said it well. I agreed and saw everything you did.
All right, I'll get the cons.
Yep.
I know you will.
I think he plays with a high pad level, especially when he's chasing in the open field. He looks tight and kind of slow trying to make turns. he doesn't possess the quickness, speed, or bend to win around the around the outside of an offensive tackle. I don't think he looks like a good athlete at all. I think his lack of agility limits his game, and that's what scares me. I think also his hand usage, every once in a while he breaks it out, but I didn't see enough of winning with the hands. If you're going to possess that upper body strength, which I think he does, he's got a great bull rush. I think he's strong all around. But I don't think he's a good athlete. I think sometimes it just looks like he's just trying to be out there playing Red Rover and just kind of run through arms and break through and see what he can do. Again, we all see things differently, and that's what makes scouting so awesome. So I'm glad that we can have these conversations. But that's what scares me about Zion Young. I don't think he's a good athlete, and I think that there's a reason that he didn't test at the combine, really.
I agree with that, actually. I think he's not the most bursty, explosive, or fast. I have that. And then also what you said, I think that he's not very good at mixing up his attack strategy. Most times it's just, I'm going to go right through you, and there's no backup plan. And I'm curious to hear what you have to say as to what you think the difference between Zion Young and TJ Parker is.
Yeah, we'll talk about TJ Parker.
As I have TJ Parker at 12.
Yeah.
But
I do think he's a good run defender. I think Zion Young is a good run defender.
Yeah.
This guy holds his own.
And I have him so high because this is another guy similar to Ruben Bain that I want him to bulk up a little bit and play at defensive end because he's so powerful and so good at taking on double teams, and he's not really, like you say, he's not an athlete to get around the edge and all that. Anything for you to add, Cody, before I get to my comp?
No, go ahead.
Keen, do you have a comp?
I do.
Oh, boy.
It's not on me for it to be disrespectful, but I comped him to Baymax from Big Hero 6 before he gets his armor and learns how to fight and fly.
Oh, come on.
He's big, slow, kind of moves like a cuddly bear. He poses very little threat to hurt you, and he's actually designed to help you by mostly staying out of the offense's way.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, I have a similar object for my key and comp, but way nicer. I see him as a bulldozer.
Okay.
Yeah. This guy is in low gear, and there isn't much that will stop him. He just drives, and things kind of slowly move out of the way. This guy knows one thing, and that's move dirt.
Yeah.
Moving bodies.
The bulldozers also move really slow.
They do, and that's why I said bulldozer. But, man, he's powerful. And then for my NFL comp, so the length and power remind me of a guy that I didn't like before. And I still don't like him. But, so the comp is his Mizzou predecessor from a couple years ago.
Okay.
Darius Robinson.
Uh-huh.
But this guy has grease fittings, and he now has lubricated hips.
Ooh,
Okay.
I like that.
So I went back to look at my nose. Darius Robinson, I said, looks like me waddling to the bathroom at 1 in the morning when my hips are tight as can be. So this guy now has lubricated hips so he can move a little better.
Years later, this guy's still catching shots.
Yeah.
He hasn't been good in the NFL.
You're
so,
right. It's fair.
He's still a starter somehow, though.
Well, he's on the Cardinals. Who else?
A starter's a starter, okay?
But Mizzou might beat the Cardinals.
But this guy's a bulldozer. I want him to play at D end, and I think he's powerful enough to blow up run games, take on double teams, and even get to the quarterback at times. And that's why I fell in love with him, because there's a place for the run game defender. But I agree, he's not very athletic.
Okay, I guess I better talk about TJ Parker next.
Yeah, you better.
Because he's my edge defender 5. So he's 6'4", 263, 33, and an 1/8-inch arms, almost identical size to Zion Young. I think this guy is actually, though, able to make some sharp cuts, plant hard in his pass rushes, or take off after a ball carrier. Now, take off not at a quick speed.
Definitely not. Yeah.
But
Like
I
a
saw him
bulldozer.
plant and actually move in different directions more so than I saw from Zion Young. I think this guy's good at getting under the offensive lineman's pads and pushing him up and back. He attacks the offensive lineman with an almost out-of-control head of steam. The power to break an offensive tackle's anchor, I think, is real. Again, it's kind of sounded like Zion Young here.
Yeah.
It's not really power that he gets from his speed. It's like power that is ever churning, like a gear, like in a clock. It's just like always going. It's
Kind of
always
like a
going.
bulldozer.
Yeah, I kind of like a bulldozer. Yeah.
Tell me your comp is a bulldozer, please.
No, it's not actually. He's got a good
Good
anchor
steer.
to hold his ground in the run game and then push the offensive lineman back, ripping off late as the ball carrier gets near. And I love his effort. He ends most plays on the ground because he's either diving at the ball carrier or basically diving into the offensive lineman with how horizontal he pushes with his whole body. Why I like TJ Parker, I think, is because I can't really explain it to you. I think that I think he's a slightly better athlete.
Yeah, I agree. And I had in my notes as well for his pros. I think he has good handwork at the point of attack, which Zion
goodness.
Young is definitely missing.
Yes.
I think TJ Parker has the hands down, but I also have in his pros that he's best in the run game, similar to Zion Young, because I don't think he's quite fast enough to be in the pass game, but I think his hands are definitely good.
Do you have anything to add?
Not to the pros.
Yeah, sure, okay. I think he lacks quickness off the snap. He has to take a lot. I'm talking a lot of choppy steps to get going. This guy will not win in the NFL by speeding around the corner.
No, he won't.
Yeah.
He doesn't stride out with his average at best speed, and his
Correct.
bend is poor. He looks pretty off balance when he does try to get around the corner, and offensive linemen can push him out even further. And also, sometimes he doesn't always use his arms when he bull rushes. He lowers his shoulder, which wins the leverage game for him, sure.
It does.
But he plows like a running back churning for extra yards. Like he's holding on to a ball.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I think
head down, I'm going to ply you with my head.
I think that's why he ends up on the ground, too.
Yeah. He's not holding on to anything.
Yeah, so my con... Oh, are you done?
I think that offensive linemen with better
got more.
anchors might just be able to basically bear hug him and stop him in his tracks because he basically allows the offensive lineman into his pads.
That's harsh on your number 5 guy.
Yeah.
I agreed
Tough love.
with most of the stuff. I think he lacks explosion off the line as well. And similar to you said about Zion Young, I think this guy stands up too quickly out of his stance. Limited athleticism for range, burst, pursuit.
Yep.
And then the reason I didn't like TJ Parker as opposed to Zion Young is I think I would want TJ Parker to play at D end as well. But I think that TJ Parker looked too small and not powerful enough to be a DN. So I think TJ Parker is he's one of those tweeners that I just don't like because it's not quite fast enough to be an edge, but not big or powerful enough to be a DN. So it's he's versatile, but I dislike him because of that.
Yeah, I kind of saw, obviously, the slow speed too, but more specifically, once his first direction that he's going stalls out, he's slow to get moving in the next direction.
Tiny steps.
Yeah, and just little things too that I like to see in edge rushers is I didn't see him with a big burst into contact. Some guys, if they're around him, I'm here to do some damage and take you down without question. And I didn't see that out of him, and his burst in the backfield's not really good either.
Yeah, I comped him to a frog because whenever he was powering into the offensive lineman, bull rush especially, leading with his head, down like this.
Yeah, you're right.
His
Frogs don't
legs,
have
his
much
strong
legs,
legs
yeah.
looked like he was jumping at the offensive lineman, like a frog. Now, frogs don't do this, but I imagine that they would in this situation if a frog was TJ Parker, jump at their enemies to stun them.
Surprise!
They don't do that again, but they could.
Yeah, they could. You're right.
Those legs also have the endurance to kick through the water, powering themselves forward horizontally, because TJ Parker, I think, he plays pretty horizontally whenever he bull rushes, at least, and that's why he ends up on the ground.
He's a bullfrog.
He gains a pretty crazy head of steam if he wants to, and that's not always, but there are, I guess, why I fell in love with TJ Parker is because I saw more flashes with him than I saw with Zion Young. And I saw, the hand usage was a little bit more diversified from play to play, so.
Yeah, that is true. I unfortunately did not have a comp for him.
Okay.
Because he's one of the guys I overlooked because I didn't like him. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I want to talk about Gabe Akis a little bit here. Woo! He was my number 7, Kian's 9, and Carson's 10 here. Carson talked about a versatile guy. Here is another one. I like his size. He is stats loading, stats. This guy, 6'4", 260, 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands. A lot of check. Well built overall, lots of experience. He was a team captain. He's got really good play strength and physicality. God bless you.
Thank you.
And I also like too when my edge defender can play with his hand in the dirt or standing up. He was clearly very comfortable both positions and had success from both positions. Really strong base, strong anchor, and also especially for a guy his size, he just has a nose for the action. He's always trying to make moves to get to the ball. A big motor, always trying to get there to make a play. And he also has some moves too that I liked, like his like his swim moves, his chop moves, just overall hand and arm usage during his rush was something I really liked.
Dude plays with a ton of strength.
Yeah.
30 bench press reps at the combine for whatever that's worth. I think it shows he's strong.
Yeah,
he is
quite
strong.
a few reps. Yeah.
I like this bend for his size too. At 260 pounds, he got slippery with that swim move, like Cody said. Then he dips under the offensive tackle's arms with some smoothness. I like that he hits the offensive tackle with speed and no hesitation. It's like he's literally trying to run through a wall.
Yeah.
And it honestly looks like it'd be painful for the offensive tackle, like his wrist, because he has to like absorb that contact.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of weight coming at you. This guy's really fun for stunts too. Let him take a subtle sidestep and ram through the gap between the offensive tackle and offensive guard without losing much speed. This guy's strong, and he definitely shows it on every play.
I said all the same things you guys did, and then just to go right into cons, I said that he doesn't have much twitch, doesn't really have a lot of change of speed, and I think that he has not much excitement in the rush.
Yeah. I said that it was predictable.
Yeah. 21.2% missed tackle rate as well, but I'll let you guys get into cons now.
Yeah, like you said, average quickness, rush path is predictable sometimes, and just needs to work on getting off of the blocks quicker, I think. And just he doesn't have a whole lot of that speed variation. It's kind of just a one speed. Here it is, and here I come. So that's really all I had for him.
Yeah, the slowness, is that a word? Slowness?
Sure.
Slowness is there, and especially like in run defense. He's sometimes just too slow to react, and he lacks the acceleration to get himself into the play sometimes. And also sometimes he thinks he's more powerful than he actually is.
Sure.
Because there's no quickness in his pass and his bull rush, so he often can't get through to the quarterback. These reps just turn into, okay, who's more manly competitions between him and the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Comps, ready for those?
Yeah.
Okay. I comped him to an ox, and just to make sure that I wasn't choosing an animal that is too quick to compare him to, I Googled, do oxen run? and here's what Gemini told me. Yes, oxen can run, though they typically work at a slow, methodical speed, ideal for plowing or heavy hauling. And I'm like, okay,
Very
that's perfect.
fitting.
Very fitting, yeah.
So I described this guy as the average Joe of edge rushers.
Oh.
He's just like well-built, well-rounded edge that plays with great play strength, and it seems like you just know what you're getting, and I'm worried that the tackle knows what they're getting too. But he just seems like very well-rounded and safe, and he reminded me a lot in play style and build and everything of Matt Judon.
Yeah.
He'll be a rotational pass rusher for some team. Definitely, he'll get play time.
Yep, certainly. Anyone else?
Yes, I'm going to give another shout-out to my edge number 6 and Kian's edge number 13. And that is the R. Mason Thomas.
Yeah.
So this guy is sorely undersized. He's 6'2", 241, 31 and 5/8 inch arms. That's short, and that's light, and that's short again. But this guy's very explosive off the line. He's too fast for slower tackles to keep up with. He'll just burst around them. He can bend under them, swipe across their face, whatever. And his great bend allows him to shrink the back of the pocket to not allow the quarterback to drop too far. He can sometimes convert his huge burst off the line into power and surprise tackles to blow them back into the pocket. And then overall, all over the field, he has great pursuit speed to chase down ball carriers and finish the play.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of length, like you said, but he uses whatever length he has to stiff arm or punch offensive tackles to stun them. It's almost like a punch in the face and then scurry around them. Yeah, very nice speed and bend. The 40-yard dash does not do him justice. He's a crazy man, the way he swings his arms high, low, and all around like he's a windmill trying to keep offensive tackles out of his pads. He's a scary, hard-charging drag car in the open field, too.
Yeah. I don't have anything to add. Go ahead, Collins.
Yeah, just obviously smaller frame, and it's another guy that's built like a linebacker. Looks like it, and metrics show it. And then because of this, he struggles to get off blocks once he's fully engaged. He just doesn't have that strength to get off blocks. So.
Yep, he struggles in the run game too. He can get moved at 241 pounds. Also, he over pursues quite often with
yeah.
the way he attacks in the open field at full speed with no plan on how to get stopped or turned. 22.2% missed tackle rate as a starter over the past 2 seasons is kind of concerning. Ready for comps there,
Yes,
Carson?
yep.
All right, he's the crazy man who fights with nunchucks and makes a hee-yaw sound. He's always wearing one of those karate headbands that tie in the back, too.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. So, for his comp, I have him as an undersized edge, uses speed, bend, and tenacity. For the NFL player, I'd describe him as the not quite fully developed little brother version of his Oklahoma predecessor, Nick Bonito.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Not too
Yeah, because
bad.
Nick Benito's small, too. So.
Yeah. And I don't know if we should talk about Keldrick Falk.
Might as well. I can start that one off. I had him at my 5 and Keenan's 10, Carson's 11. Keldrick Falk, first of all, we'll get to size too, since we like to say that. 6'6", 276 pounds, 34 and 3/8 inch arms. So obviously, great frame, great body size. But what I liked about Keldrick Falk is he has a really great ability to shed the blocker and tackle quickly right around the line of scrimmage. That was very clear as day. And he's got a good, strong initial push against the tackle, and he uses his arm length really well to keep the tackles out of his pads. Like I said before, he's got good tackle burst, and he bursts into the blockers very well, too. That's something I really like in edge defenders. And it works for him, so I like it, and he's large enough to do this, so I like it. But he's got the habit of, like, timing up the quarterback that he'll just throw his hands up, kind of like you see a Cam Hayward doing in the NFL. Different position, I know. But you just throw his arms up, try to bat the ball, which he had success doing in college. He's got that tall build along with the long arms. Like, there's short quarterbacks in the league. Like, you'll be able to do that. And he's obviously very young. He's going to be 21 this September when the league starts. So I love that. So he's got that frame to pack even more muscle mass onto if he wants to. I'm sure he probably does. And also I read that he was just praised for his leadership, his accountability, his character. And I love that in a player like that. I love to hear those things from coaches because normally a guy of this high of caliber, they don't really lie about that stuff because it would be found out if you were lying.
Mm-hmm.
For pros, I just add that these long arms that Cody wrote off and huge frame give him a large tackle radius to reel in ball carriers from anywhere within his range. And then that huge build that he has also allows him to be lined up anywhere along the defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the reason why I even have him ranked in my top 10 at all is because this guy is a great run defender. He already is. And we'll get into the pass rush stuff and cons.
Yeah.
But the run defender, his run defense is very skilled. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to fill gaps. He knows where he should be. He knows where the ball carrier is going to be. And he's 276 pounds to be able to hold his own. So that's definitely all there for sure.
Cons. His speed is obviously just average coming off the edge. He doesn't consistently get off of the blocks like I'd really like to see, and I think he just needs a touch more physicality to like really set the edge strong. He's got the size. He just needs to get a little more of that. I don't know if it's physical mentality or it's just what I'm seeing, but I'd like to see a little more physicality to
Nice.
set the edge. I'd also like to see him get a little bit stronger push after contact with the blocker. Like, he's got that really strong initial push, but I'd like to see him kind of keep at it just a little bit more. And sometimes he'll just overrun and doesn't really work back well enough to be able to overrun and be okay with it. He's not as fast as some of the other guys, but that's really what I saw in him.
Yeah, I figured we should talk about this guy because he looks like he's being mocked to be a first-round pick
Right.
Yeah.
almost everywhere.
Yeah.
But I agree with what Cody said. This guy's lacking intensity and physicality, and it's hard for me to get behind a guy that has that lacking from his game. He's most likely going to be limited to just defensive end due to his lack of speed and intensity. Slow off the line, stands up out of his stance early, which gets him upright. Then the blocker's getting his pads, gets off balance, and he's just easy to move around wherever they want. And then not enough speed and agility to keep up with the ball carrier in space. So those are all concerns for me as a another guy that's versatile, but that's a bad thing because he's not great anywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot left to teach this guy, especially in pass rush, as to how to excuse me, as to how to shed blocks. But the people see the athleticism, the size, the age, and there are people who love that. Like Cody's one of those people.
Sure, yeah.
As far as like last year, who the Bengals just drafted last year.
Shamar Stewart.
Yeah,
Shamar
Shamar Stewart. Same idea kind of guy. I think that Shamar Stewart, though, plays with a lot more physicality and tenacity last year. This guy, he's often in position to bat down passes the line of scrimmage because I don't think he generates much push in the pass rush. He's just kind of there.
Yeah.
He's there. I think that obviously the arm length is there, but he doesn't really know how to use them yet. He doesn't always extend his arms to try to keep offensive linemen off his pads. He doesn't often use his arms violently, which he could do a lot of damage with arms that size, but he only shows that sometimes. And I want to see that all the time. And he's probably going to get drafted high, just like Carson said, because of his large frame and, quote, high potential to become a good pass rusher, but he still has a long way to go to get there. And my comp for him is Lucas Van Ness. 6'5", 272, 34-inch arms, almost identical. Turned 21 years old just before his rookie season. Again, almost identical. Size, age, athleticism combo with, quote, high potential to become a good pass rusher, but also has the strength to hold his own in run defense. Drafted 13th overall by the Packers in 2022. Through his first 3 seasons in the NFL, he is improving each year, but he has not become a good pass rusher yet. His season highs so far are 27 pressures, 4 sacks, and 16.2% pass rush win percentage. And that's not what I want to see out of my first-round pick who I'm drafting to.
Sure.
You're going to become a great edge, and I know it, and I'm going to coach it into you. I was like, I don't know. How often do we actually see that?
Sure. Makes sense.
Yeah, I also don't want to be too harsh with my comp here, but like Kean said, he's a project, so the guys that are currently like this don't really get my attention in the NFL as like paying attention to them and remembering them to comp them with somebody like this. So I just have him as a severely detuned DeForest Buckner. but that's not, I don't like it because like I said, he's a project and he still needs to learn some things, learn how to use all that body he has, and then he could do some damage.
You can't coach size, you know.
No, you can't. You
can't.
cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that you also can't coach physicality.
Yeah, that's true.
I do want to talk about one more guy.
Yeah,
one more guy.
One more.
Okay. I was going to talk about Derek Moore. He's my edge 6, but Carson has him down at 19. So I'll talk about somebody who we can kind of all agree on because this guy's fun. Edge 7 for both me and Carson. Edge 9 for Cody.
Yeah.
Jaysean Barham out of Michigan, 6'3.5", 240 pounds, 32 3/8-inch arms. This guy, why he's so exciting? Again, the tweeners are fun, man. The guys who are linebackers or edges. This guy changed from linebacker to edge in his final season. He played the first 2 games of the season actually this year. He played at linebacker, off-ball linebacker. Then they're like, we're gonna put you at edge. And it worked, man. This guy has real speed and smoothness as he sprints through a gap or around the offensive tackle into the backfield. This guy shoots into the backfield so quickly once he reads the play. He looks so slippery and wiry when offensive tackles and tight ends try to get their hands on him. He's got the agile ability to cut and turn around a dime to basically circle the offensive tackle so quickly before he even finishes his kick slides. He's got the uncanny abilities of a linebacker to be able to read the play and have the agility to adjust and redirect his attack angle. And now he does this while lining up on the line of scrimmage. It's a very exciting idea to take a good blitzing / shoot the gap linebacker and put him on the edge so he can hopefully make plays in the backfield more often. I'm excited to see how he gets used in the NFL and how he develops because all the skills are there, man. And this guy has a nose for the football.
I agree. I think a couple things you didn't mention. This guy's great at working around blocks. He's able to be skinny and slippery and get to the ball carrier without much force against him. And then he's an aggressive, and he has the playmaker mentality, which we love. It's get to the ball and make a play on it. It's amazing.
I completely agree with you. He's I love his bend. Like you said, it worked really well moving him in there, and it was fun to watch.
Like immediately, it's crazy.
It just works, and I think that's a lot to do with what Carson said, just his mentality. It's just you can tell it's there. Like he wants to disrupt, he wants to make plays, and he did that. He's just an overall menace on the field.
Cons, again, 2025 is his only year of college experience playing edge. He was an off-ball linebacker from 2022 to 2024. Also another con, this guy loves to charge into the backfield with so much speed that he over-pursues the ball carrier and either has to make a tackle with his arms very extended or he has to change directions and start chasing. And also, he lacks the power to be able to move an offensive tackle right now because he is only 240 pounds. He did just switch from linebacker. He's not exactly built for that just yet. But he's just so much more athletic than the offensive tackles that he can outmaneuver them all day long. At least he did in college. And also, inexperience in his hand usage, which is understandable.
Yep.
You're drafting him a lot later than somebody like a Keldrick Falk in hopes that he can improve his hand usage.
Sure.
I agree with the hands and, of course, the only 240 pounds as well. And I think that when a team drafts him, they need to decide if he's going to be off ball or on ball or a chess piece somewhere in between. But either way, I think it's going to be super fun.
Yeah, completely agree.
My comp for him is Jeremy Chin if you put him at edge. I think the athleticism to line up at multiple different spots on defense, but his clear talents are his tackling ability and aggressiveness / riskiness to go make a play. That's like Jeremy Chin. So I like that.
Yep.
I do not have a comp for this guy, once again, because it's like he's the tweener that I think that, like I said, the team needs to decide what they're going to do with him, but either way, he's going to be a steal at the time that they get him in the draft because he's predicted to go fairly late. So this is going to be a super fun project, and I think he could be like a guy that comes out of nowhere and is just wreaking havoc on offenses.
Yep, agreed. Okay, anyone else?
No.
Nope.
I'm good.
Okay, that wraps up this episode ranking our edge defenders. So make sure to tune in. We got a few more of these episodes to go before draft time is here. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next episode.